afternoon. Let's hop right into day 6. Because I don't have buckets of time today, unfortunately. Well, now. Don't think about it. We'll just go through this day relatively quickly. I need to put the music down a little bit. Maybe put up my own voice. Just a bit. The flight approaches a regular airport. Custom declaration forms are distributed. They ask a series of 26 yes or no question mark A through Z. All you need to do is identify questions for which anyone in your group answers yes. Since it's just you, that doesn't take very long. However, the person next to you seems to be experiencing a language barrier and asks if you can help. For each of the people in their group, you write down the question where they answer yes, one per line. For example, there are 6 questions which anyone answered yes: A, B, C, X, Y, and Z. Another group asks for help, then another. Eventually, you've got to ask for every group on your plane. Each group's answers are separated by a blank line, and within each group, each person's answers are in a single line. We did the processing like that in the same way yesterday, so that's fairly easy to do. The first group contains one person that answered yes to 3 questions. Same with 3 people. Some of these counts as 11. So that's sets, right? Count the number of questions which anyone answered yes. So we're going to do similar input processing to yesterday. So let me first grab the test inputs. So just like yesterday, make sure there's 2 blank lines afterwards. So this is fairly neat to do, because we can actually check for oh no, it was 2 days ago, right? So 4. Yeah, that's the one. So here we go. We don't care about substring bits. We just care about this, and then yeah, I was about to say it's day 4, not yesterday. That was very similar. It's day 4 that was. How are you going to do this? Yeah, no one knows. I think I'm going to be using sets. I think that's probably the best way to do it. Could even be ints. It's not that difficult because you can just parse. Today's day 4 without the laundry list condition. No need for if statement. Oh, thank God. Yeah, so just do a sets, which will be answers, and then if it's nothing, we just score plus equals. Was gonna answers dot size. Yeah, and oh God, what was it again to clear it? Just yeah. Erase or clear? There we go. If hell would still be funny, I'd prefer not to. So that's our reset condition. So we just make it so how are they put up? I think a stream is still, yeah, so we just have a X as a string. Score. That should be it, right? Was it 11 or something? 0. What's going on? Don't black screen of death your computer there, Aftish. They should be fairly easy, so we can just do... Just to make sure it does something, at least. Because I think I'm just missing one fairly simple element here. Oh, yeah, it's just not working at all. It's not doing anything. Why is that? What? Why 2022.6 or CXT? Oh, I think I know why. Yeah, I see why. Yeah, I already know what I'm doing wrong. We can just kind of delete this. I think this is what I need to do. Yeah, there we go. Just slightly wrong way of handling inputs. Using Windows Store for the first time in 20, I never used that. I want to make HDMI output to audio as well. Default driver window? Huh. Oh god. Yeah, you really shouldn't install cross Windows drivers because it usually fucks shit up. I think you can boot into safe mode by power cycling 3 times. And that should, in theory, that's the wrong one. That should, in theory, fix it. Oh, it's fine? Alright. Yeah, so with wrong drivers, what can happen is that it doesn't want to display anything with power cycling thrice. Forces Windows to get into to go into save mode, basically. Was deleted the driver for NVIDIA. Oh, that's weird. But you should in theory be able to set HDMI audio via the driver, NVIDIA driver. So some NVIDIA DLLB. Oh, that sucks, huh? The Hello World. Oh, the Hello Screen. I've had that as well, but that was due to wrong RAM, basically. When I was installing my new RAM, I had it at the wrong speed, and it was crashing at really weird moments, including, on the login screen, that was really weird. Let's see. After finishing the last group's custom declaration, note that you misread one word. You don't need to identify. Wait, what? You need to identify the answers to which everyone answered yes. The first group, everyone answered yes to all 3 questions. In the second group, there's no questions to which everyone answered yes. In the third group, everyone answered yes, but to only 1 question. Okay. No, it's not if hell. It's just you just need to get whichever answer. Let me do this properly. It's fairly easy. You just need to basically make a set out of everyone's answers and then do the intersect. So just make the first one and then create a new set out of everyone's, everyone's answers, put it into a set and then intersect it. So we can just make this part 1 if we want. Let's think of a clever way to do this. What I basically could also do is count it all. You can make a map, count it all, and then that's what I could do in Python. Just like throw it all into the dictionary, and then only get the ones where the amount of answers equals the amount of people. Count array, array, count values, count chars. Yeah, that basically. So for that, I would just kind of append everything and then count the amount of, yeah. Don't even need a dictionary in Python. Yeah, because you could just exactly basically do what Kirikuma did. So let's make a score for part 1 and a score for part 2. It's just gonna be a bit clunky otherwise. Because I could do like if size of answers is 0. Far for size of group is easy. But it's not an easy way to like count things inside CPP as far as I know. What I want to do is basically at the end, so here is only have a set that has the answers that everyone had the same, basically. So what I would like to do is fill the setup the first time, and then only ever allow answers into that are already in there. But no, I still need to remove... I could just basically do a set of everyone's group and then intersect them all together. That's what I could do as well. Which would basically be a vector of sets. Which is awful, but you know what? Screw it, let's do it. This is really dumb. I'm sure there's a better way to do this. Ugh. So every line is a person. So everyone will get a new set. This is really stupid, but yeah. This is really stupid. I'm gonna do part 1 and 2 at the same time. I'm pretty sure it's a slightly better way to do it otherwise, but and then once we're done, we're gonna go through every single... We're gonna intersect them all together and then see... Oh, this is really goddamn fucking stupid, but I don't care. Dev's writing a rant in there. Look, if it works, it works. It'll be int answer, and it'll be intersect mania. So basically, and then we just force set in this intersected. This will be the first one. Oh god, fuck, screw it. Int I equals 1. I is less than sets dot size. This is really stupid because I need to like skip the first one because that's the initialization variable value. And then we just how do you do? Is there? Please tell me there's a. Oh, there's no intersects. Is it in algorithm? Yeah, it's of course it's algorithm. How do you do this proper? First, second, and you have something you put it into, and an iterator to go through it. Which means I could actually, in theory, just do 4. Nah, I'd still need the index because I need to search. No, actually, I could do it slightly better. Because what we do is we do it with itself, so we can just do a normal for loop. So we just do for sets char cur sets, because the intersection of the first one will always be, a set's intersection with itself is just the original set again. Because what we can do is we can do set intersection, and now we need a whole bunch of crap. So what we need is the first plus 5, which is the length. Really? Why would you need to do that? First plus... They're sorted? What? Is there a reason why you would sort this? Isn't this like first.end though? So it's like... This seems miserable. Yeah, kill me. Why? Second plus... Why do you need like a second plus 5? Input iterators to the initial and final position of the first sorted sequence. Why doesn't it need to be sorted? In section of 2 sorted range. What the fuck is this crap? Yeah, so you can just do begin.end, begin.end, and then whatever crap this is. Doesn't have to be a set. Oh, yeah, so it could be like on... Yeah, I see. I guess I need a temp one, right? cppreference.com to C++. The thing with CPP reference is that can I find an example here quickly? I find it personally that it's a little bit unclear to get quick examples, which is basically all I need, generally speaking. And then what I can do is do results equals temp. I think I might... I'm not sure if I can actually do this back here, because it might start writing into it before. I'm not sure. Return results.length. Size, sorry. So here where we do score 2 plus equals intersect mania of group answers dot push back temp. And we also need to do group clear. Because this had a score of 6. Conversion of size t to int, possible loss of data, where What? Why are you complaining about that? Is it also because you're also a size? What is a? I keep forgetting what a size T actually is. What? Scores answers dot size. Since when do you complain about that? You cannot assign a variable to a constant. What the fuck? This is just a warning, yeah, so this is not relevant. It just scraps out warning because it wants it to. This is actually an error. Why does it complain about you? Destination is you first. Do they need to be sorted? Come on, there has to be a better way to do this. $258 warnings, 0 errors. We have just ignore that, please. Don't worry. What's the worst thing that can happen? So what's bit. If it compiles, it compiles. Especially when, like, I'm gonna guess that most of the complaints are like, conversion between things is wrong. So I guess it's trying to, where's the code? Here we go. Result begin and temp begin. So why is it not working? So what do we do here? What did they do in the example? So there is just v.begin, where v is just a vector of an int, which in my case is a set. So yeah, I can make it a vector as well. It doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter though at all. Yeah, of course I can't make them the same then. Because they sorted and they do this, but that's just because this is a pointer to the first. Yeah, because it's an array, but I don't want to. Okay, this is what I need, I guess, because let's see, fix it by doing something like this. Is set intersect is one at begin. Is it because of this? Is he also getting the error? No, that's no motion. What the hell is this crap? Just updated my audio driver, and now I can watch natural on my TV. Oh, you poor guy. You need an insert iterator since the set as of now is empty, but can you use back or front inserter since the set doesn't support that? Okay, so I think what I need is a different type of pointer to the beginning, because normally I think what it does is I think it like tries to point to the first element, but there is no first element, it's empty. So I think it tries to like insert at a position where it can't do anything, and now it runs fine. Of course we didn't count score 2. So that's like kind of annoying thing the thing that annoys me in Python, so in CPP. And stuff like that. Oh yeah. Anyway, we're doing something wrong. And why is that? I assume it's because you're kind of like there's no clone. Is there a .copy or something? No. So I think something's going on here. So we do score 2, intersect mania of group answer pushback temp. So that is, you know, so what I can do here is actually count like group answer to line just to make sure that works. So they should be like, I don't know, 1 something something. We'd always, I assume to see numbers here. 2 4 3 5 2 11 0. I don't think that's correct. Oh yeah, I know why. There. Just flip it around. There we go. Well, now it actually gives me an answer. What the hell? No, I'm not done yet, but I'm getting close. Oh yeah, I also deleted a line, so no wonder it's wrong. Why does this work now, though? Oh, I think it because, yeah, so the first set I was trying to enter was empty, and then of course there's never an intersect, so duh. So yeah, that was just me flipping around, and now it should work. There we go, we're done. Great timing there, Dennis, right at the end. So this is clearly garbage. Like, this is an awful way to do it. I know that. Just don't think about it. Let me see, what did... Yeah, Dennis did a one-liner. Oh, not a one-liner. Oh, let's see. Int yes. Ugh. One hit? Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm gonna go look through my Discord right now to see what you guys did. No, you're right. I misread the comment you had below. 27 is less than 32. 26 less than 32. Wait, you mean the letter in the alphabet is smaller than 32? Than an int? Oh, you can just XOR it all. You can just flip the bits that's the answer and then XOR it all together. Where's your... Yeah, that's pretty smart. Let's see. Yeah, that'll work as well. Let me just quickly go through what Dennis does. So Dennis does... I guess the line... And then group size is 0. So he just sets it all to 0. I still don't understand XORing. XOR basically sets the output bits if the bits before it are different. So sorry, don't XOR, just AND it, my bad. So just AND everything together, not XORing. So like 0 plus 0 equals 0, because they're the same. 1, 0 equals 1, 0, 1 equals 1, and 1, 1 equals 0. It also can be, spell it out, exclusive OR. So it's an OR, but they need to be mutually exclusive, so they need to be different. Which basically means that the 1 plus 1 equals 0. 1, the other not both, yeah, exactly. In case like this, XORing and or adding is basically a faster add. Yeah, but the thing is, Dennis, you can basically do it within the same word, as in the same memory space. So instead of... No, I haven't looked at your code yet because I scrolled up a bit, but I didn't find your link yet. Where... What's it this morning? No, you did it later. Stimar, where's the... Oh, there it is. Yeah, I have your repo pinned, but I was just scrolling through everything, all the comments as well. So what is this? What is built-in pop count? Because I saw you mentioning that, but yeah, if line length is 0, that means that it's new. It's basically saying that I do. You do the resets, count set bits. Yeah, I already did it. Here, we're already done. So I've already finished today. And then you do the pop count. It's an instruction many processors have. Yeah, let me just... I believe you. I just want a quick example. Gives 1 as an output. It returns the number of set bits in an integer. Okay, that's what it does. So, sorry, it counts set bits. Yeah, exactly what you mentioned. Yeah, exactly. The pop count of you know, 4 is 1 as the example we just said, and there's 4 ones there. So it's basically, it's a sum of how many right answers you have. But if you have 0... Oh yeah, so your answers is what? It's just a number. And then that number, of course, is just... Yeah, you do C minus A to get the actual value. Where A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, etc. Because... that's how that works. Yeah. If it's the first one, the first thousand answer, otherwise you end it together. Yeah, that makes sense. And that's how you just get the... Is it just part 2 though? Yeah, it is. Built-in pop count answers. Yeah. Because it doesn't matter what the answers are. It just matters if they're identical. So this is a pretty smart way of doing it. Don't actually need to do any counting, Dennis. Nah, exactly. I forgot intersection exists, so don't even bother checking my code. I saw a few screenshots. I also know I need to add 2 more repos, which are Kirakuma's. Oh god, this guy's goddamn doing it in PHP. That is slightly disgusting. PHP. And then I need to add Owens as well, which is was it Python, I think? Yeah, Python. Let's see. Oh fuck, this is copyrighted music. Well, I'm fucked. Guess my playlist ran out. Yeah, well, fuck it. I didn't get DMCA'd yet. What's the worst that can happen? It's far more efficient. Yeah, of course. I know my set solution is awful. It's just naive. It's just what, you know, the first thing that came to mind. Okay, I hate it. Yeah, if I was like the bit one is pretty smart. It's not flexible, but that's not needed because we're doing fucking advent of code. It's not relevant. Oh good, Jesus Christ. So yeah, set.union for every single set in there. Print the sum because you want to get all the correct ones. Yeah, this is just kind of what I did, just in one line. Yeah, sure, Dennis. The thing is that yeah, it's basically optimized my code. It'll be faster, but the thing is thanks, Aftish. It's it'll be faster, but it'll be like in this problem solving. If you want to go fast, it's great. For every other application, don't, because people need to read and naively understand what you're doing. Let's see, Nix also did something, so we'll look at that in a bit. Yeah, this is just counting the, this is pretty Excel. It works, it works. Seeds are naive, but they work more than well enough. Exactly. Like, the thing with sets is that you're not. It's easy to understand what you're doing, and it's infinitely expandable because, like, in theory, we knew it wouldn't have happened because we know that the inputs for day 1 and day 2 would always be the same. But say, I know that there's a few people which make like huge input sets on Reddit. Like if you had like more than 26 things, it wouldn't work, or not as easily. It's a little more reason to be more clever other than for the chat. It's nice. That's true, but it's nice to know about it. Like say if I wanted to do something in the future like this, I could use that. Just use setting bits. After Shigan, yeah, it's just the same thing you did before, basically. It's more sets as well. See, what did Mr. Rust do? I hate reading Rust so much, but at least it's fairly simple. Yeah, so you split it, so you get all the input, you split it so you get every single group, then per group you map it to this lambda. Split it so you get it per person, then you map the person to, yeah, bit characters, person is bytes, so it just gets done as this. Then you filter not and 0. So is it because like you have a blank line which is empty and you want to get it out? Yeah. U32 max accumulates. So you accumulate all the, yeah, you end them all together and then you count the ones, which is just pop count. Yeah, it's fairly similar to what we did, just in a one statement. So this is basically the same as what Stimmer was talking about. Just slightly more unreadable because it's Rust. Now, I was actually reading a bit about Rust, about like lifetime crap. It was just... It's like, I know what Rust is about. It's about memory safety, if I recall correctly. And making sure that you can never access memory you're not allowed or should access. But it makes for some really weird crap inside. Oh yeah, let's take a look at PHP. I hate it. But hey, if it works, it works. Wait, group dot quote dot what the hell is this syntax? So you grab the group object, the hell is this? What is this? Just string? Wait, this is string appending? What the? I'm sorry, that's disgusting. That's why though? Might be a better way, but that's it. I mean, I'm fine with doing string appending here because I can understand what you're doing, just adding all the member stuff together and then just counting. You know, that's fine because that's the way you mentioned before, and that's easy. But just the syntax here is awful. Like coming from Java, Python, C++. Full stops mean you're accessing a member or a function of the previous object, and not, oh, I'm appending this together. It's just confusing. Is this? Oh yeah, this is Terranaries. I hate the dollar symbol. Goddamn communists. Anything else to look at? I don't think we have God. Not really. Today was pretty straightforward. Yeah. Today is pretty fair. It's fairly simple. Like the way to approach it is slightly different, but we're doing the same thing in the end. We're grabbing intersections between groups, and if you do it with an AND, it's a bunch of arbitrary rules made by a cat walking on a keyboard. Goddamn, Goddamn PHP. I've never had to use it, thank God. I do like this one. I know there's a guy who does all of them in Excel, but I think he only posted later. Anyway, see if Reddit produced something disgusting for us today. Mega thread. I saw this visualization. Was it this one? That's kind of neat. The visualizations people make are very nice. I had a different solution that didn't involve bits. Is it fairly similar to what I did? Look at this inefficient boarding. It's kind of sad. But I can grab your StemR. How do I do that properly? I guess we're on Git. We're on git.io. Yeah, thanks. There we go. Solve part 1. The hell is that? Oh, it's your make file. Oh, Nick, sorry. Look, you guys are both red on my end. Like, I look via colors, not names. Can you blame me? Here, part 1. Sort, dedupe, length, that works as well. Which is basically making it a set. I mean, it's literally the same thing that I did. Let's see, you map per group. You filter out everything that's not a line break, and you collect all the unique answers. Dedupe. Yeah, deduplicate is... I wanted to make a website using PHP and to communicate with the person. Look, PHP is a language that I'm happy I'll probably never have to learn. The worst... Go. Fuck off. The worst name in Rust of Fire is nth because it's 0th. Yeah, give me the 0th in... That, what? Why would you have nth, which is clearly... Okay. To be fair, I work in the current field that I'm working on with my thesis. I also have 0th orders. So, you know, it makes sense in some situations. Anything else here? All these, like, there's this guy, there's a few people actually who do these really awful visualizations in... This one is actually kind of alright, but I had a guy that said like, oh look, I did my solution in Unreal Engine or in Blender, and it was just like the scripts, and then, oh yeah, I visualized the trees as well. It's just like, not contributing much, but to each their own. This is kind of neat, though. Anyway, let's take a look here if there's anything awful. Let's see. Did A... Jesus Christ, 1 for 1. Wait. So map X lined up map chomp. What the hell does chomp mean? Sure. But that's actually pretty impressive. Wait. Oh, hey, look. This guy again. They mean they were first on the leaderboard for both days. So if you go to... they were first, yeah, so... here, day 6. Here we go. So first one usually get both stars, so this guy is here. Python/C. Oh, I guess I did them both. 87 seconds exactly. I mean, if you like, the thing what they do is always go for your first hunches and don't read. Like, one thing they do pretty well is everything that's like highlighted or done with boxes, that's something you need to look at. So what you could do is you could go like, okay, anyone in your group answered yes, identify the question, so count uniques per group. Oh, look, it doesn't matter in which group they are, so just sum every single unique character together. Well, per group, basically. And it's like, how are groups split apart? They're split on empty lines. And it's just a lot of first hunches going off of it. And still, it's impressive. Like, these people, what they do, they have everything set up beforehand. First time I've seen a reply here. I've seen it before, I think. But that was on my own, what I did myself. Like, everything's set up beforehand. Like, imports, crap, etc. It's like, I do a little bit of that myself. Like, I do this import already. I could, and I already make the file, so I could just copy-paste into it. Who is AOC 2020 Edgelord? Let's just... Okay, can I see if I can find that from yesterday? He made some interesting things yesterday. Yeah, he made his code in the shape of the Twin Towers being rammed. It was just, I don't think I can search inside here. Show 500, please. I don't know how many comments there are, probably a few thousand. 1,200. He could have been, yeah. Search for his user, you're right. No. Nah. Not gonna bother. Could have been... You received the mod notice. Oh, yeah, here we go. This is what he did. Actually... Yeah, it's it was something all right. You have to be a special person to do something like this. It's also the only post he's ever made. I have a feeling he made it just for this. What a guy. Anyway. Mathematica, because you can do easily set crap. Yeah, I wonder what gave me that idea. No idea. Oh, look, Vim guy again. Oh, the Scratch guy. God. Seems like the encode programmer. I know that last year a few guys made encode compilers, so you could write basically assembly level crap and put it into encode. I have a feeling it's just not very fun. I know there's a guy who did day one in x86, which is pretty impressive, but like, why would you do encode? Nobody. Sorry, you deserve that. We're using R. Nope, no Scratch so far, I think. Eric Whistles posted his own encode compiler. Yeah. Hey, there we go. What about Rockstar? Nope. We do have Scratch again. He actually made part 1 and part 2. Oh god. Oh, so actually click it now. Amazing. So just to show that it works. There we go. It's great. He actually added this. It's actually kind of nice. It's also fairly simple, which is nice. It's 10 out of 10, so great. So where's part 2? Yeah, I assume. Yeah, I'm just. So it says when this sprite is clicked, which is for this guy. Scratch too hard for nitro. I just wonder where it is. Oh, it's. There we go. It's put on the character itself. Which makes sense, I guess. There we go. Check for both space and new lines in this block. Look at this high-level baby language. Having actual count functions. Pah. Repeat until. Oh, this is just a while loop. Slightly different. I like how we actually added like saying and thinking, asking. It's great. So you define something, sure. Wait, do you have to use globals? Oh, this poor guy, you have to use globals. Is there a return function? Oh, there is no return function. Oh, that's kind of sad. Beautiful. No, it is. It's like, it's like the old assembly ways. It's like you basically have you can have a stack, or just have you predefine an output variable, and that's all you do. So you only have globals. No, you do have functions here. Because this is a function here. So you define count number of x in whatever. Although, oh, it's only... But so... I think you can have a define block somewhere. Here, my blocks, and you can make a block and you can define it. Yeah. Someone who made yesterday was simmed, by the way. Is this, Yeah, so it is CPP, but he... Yeah, he did it in a 4 wide integer. I'm surprised there is a guy who's doing it in assembly. Yeah, cheers there, Nix. Yeah, it's basically manual simmed, which I guess, I mean, it's fine. It's not while one of while true loops. It's, I mean, simmed is nice, but it's one of those optimizations that if it's kind of forced here, but oh well. But here, this guy did it in the assembly. Which is I need a toy. What do? I just remake it myself. I want to see people use the GPU for even more speed. Oh yeah, Sir Sim is going to be fast in assembly, but that's not the point here. C-Fusion, day one, I think you could solve somehow, probably with fast Fourier transforms and the imaging software I use. I could make I can make it to an image, push it to the GPU, and then do calculations on there. So it would be like the overhead would be stupid, but in theory you could write OpenCL code to use the GPU. It would be fucking horrible to do, but you could do it. The guy who made it said he got 0.2 seconds on a big boy. It really doesn't surprise me, because it's super duper fast. I mean, it's forced. Sure, it doesn't matter. It's not fast. If you program it properly, I'm sure you'd be able to make pretty much all that sim work in proper CPP. Yeah, sure. But isn't sim one of those instructions you kind of have to like pre-mold your instructions to make sure you actually get it? Because it's only CPP does auto effect. I don't know. I am not experienced with CPP, so I wouldn't know. But I assume that if you pour it into the right mold, it might grab it. Like if you do, say, array calculations in chunks of 4, and you do like array I plus array I plus 1 plus array I plus 2, stuff like that, it'll auto-sim it. But I don't know. Anyway, it's still pretty well impressed that he does it. It just sounds mostly awful. Anyway, no matter. I'm gonna call it here. Thank you all for watching. I have to go to shopping, and afterwards I might be back with more whatever the hell I'm feeling like it. I learned programs to help me find a job, not why to kill myself. Hey, I can find something to make you kill yourself. Let me see if I can find it. Did you try the day 5 big boy? No, I didn't. I didn't have time. I was at my parents' yesterday, so I couldn't do that. So this is bad. This is really bad. This will make you want to kill yourself. So just before we do anything else, I'm actually let's download this real quick. There we go. Just quick and dirty. I don't really care about much more. Yeah. Just don't need to show all the end-of-line characters. So just a quick if. How many ifs do you think there are here? It's only 1,000 or so. It's really bad. Oh, and he's leaking the emails. So I was scrolling by, it seems fairly normal. Yeah. Fairly normal. Like you really don't want to. This is my first CPP that I wrote years ago. Thanks there, Nix. It is genuinely disgusting. Oh look, it's a awful. This is a hate crime. So it's like just the amount of times that I reference this variable is just why. What does it even do? It's like crappy math stuff that I wrote when I was in like 1st or 2nd grade. Because I had to redo a year because I failed enough Latin and Dutch crap like that. So I had spare time during maths class. So I was like, I'll just do programming. And then I did this. I was like, okay, just do fairly simple stuff. Like intersections between first degree equations, second degree equations, intersections, stuff like that. At a certain point, I thought, you know what? Why don't I just make an ASCII graph drawer? So you have to screw indexing with. So you have to so you have to like actually manually give the a and the b of an ax plus b equation. And it's like, so I do the formula and I get like the variables, but then for every single one, it's just, it only works for an ax plus b equation. Yes, of course. So I thought, you know, I'll add scaling, right? So give the length of the x-axis, half of it will be the origin, and make it even, please. It's like, it's so bad. It's just like, what should I say? I just do it in an interarray, you know, no need to do floats or anything. I don't think I use floats at all here. And then of course, you know, what is rounding? It's just, oh my god. So what do I even... Oh no, sorry, I used double longs because, I don't know why. I don't know, and then I did this for a rounding function. It's just disgusting. Oorsprungen. Yeah, it's not even spelled right. It should be oorsprong, singular. It's half of it is the origin. And then this happened. What is the point in ASCII graphic? You just import it because the CFusion. I didn't know about importing packages here. And the idea, to be fair, the idea was that I would do it myself, like figure it out myself, because no one would ever use this. But the way that I did it is just like the worst way possible. Like if I had to implement this kind of thing naively, just use the, like, just what do you call it? You have an index into a two-dimensional array and just set that to whatever the hell you want. It's not that difficult. But no, I had to do lines one by one. It's kind of sad. It's really funny to look at it. And for some reason I thought, oh yeah, I need R's here. So what did you gain by doing this besides verifying your patience for stupidity? Nothing. Literally nothing. It was basically every single year, everyone who did extra work would be allowed to present it, and I presented it to like my maths teacher and a few other people, and it was just the saddest thing I've ever done. Because they didn't do programming. Was he? Well, first of all, it was a she. And yes, of course they were disappointed. But I think the biggest issue was that my school didn't offer any kind of informatics, like computer science. So they didn't understand jack. Meaning that they just had no idea. It's just... Oh, here, you want to calculate your, just the what is it even in English? Like it's part of a, equation. What do you call it? Like a linear equation intersection with the x-axis. I once literally vomited during presentation, was less embarrassed than presenting this. Showing codes amongst is asking to get a bunch of blank stares. Exactly. It's just like, for what it's worth, I understood more of coding than they did, and they understood so little they didn't even know it was ass. So they kind of just like, you did well, Nitro, and that's it. It wasn't for a mark either, so it was just like, yeah, thumbs up. That's it. Have fun. Go home now, please. We had informatics was taught by an underpaid, overworked physics teacher who was fresh out of school himself, and most of it was learning Excel. That's kind of sad, not gonna lie. The thing is, like, knowing Excel is pretty useful, but it's... Oh god, no, Microsoft Office database is awful. We had to use that for one of my SQL classes. It was awful. I don't think informatics is usually programming, really. It kind of is. The thing with high school is that the kids who are interested in it are usually, you know, have already dabbled in it a bit themselves. So I just give them, like, basic and some small problems to do. I remember me and a few friends, for a special course, we were allowed to give a class. Just like 2 hours on Wednesday, 4 weeks in a row. And we did informatics, we did science, we did a bit of JavaScript scripting, and it was pretty nice to do. But we already noticed that a lot of kids already dabbled with it. So for them it was too easy. For other kids it was, they'd never seen any programming at all. They had no clue what was going on. So kind of the issue with informatics is that in high school. Some kids already looked into it and they know way more than the basics. And some kids never did it but are interested. The people I know that did programming uni are basically all self-taught. Exactly. Like, the only people that I knew that were good at it did that. Everyone else was awful at it. Like no offense to my girlfriend, for example. But, like, she and a few friends did programming here at uni. Terrible at it. Because they never got it into themselves. And the teachers were frankly garbage. So it makes for this situation where I, which did the same course, as a fairly experienced person, I just cruised through it with, you know, hands tied behind my back, got a 9. But my girlfriend had to struggle to you know, get through this swamp of terminology that they never heard of before. They would write programs for fun and master of Googling, reading documentation, and copying Stack Overflow posts for 9 years ago. Yeah, I mean, that's how programming basically works. How I self-taught myself as well. Not yet Aftish. No plans yet. In high school, did some basic binary math and stuff like that, but no programming at all. Yeah, I think what you should do in high school is actually teach it in the first year. Just to, like, that's the age most kids will get into it. And you can just, like, kind of gauge interest and make it an optional class. Where you can go into some of the more computer sciencey aspects. Because, for example, a thing that I've never learned about is complexity. And it's a very interesting thing. And any kid can on themselves do, like these days of Advent of Code, they're perfect for it, kind of. For, like, fairly simple programming assignments. And then you can teach them about a complexity, low level, of course. And kind of show them how computer science would be. Because, read the PDF I linked you. That's in the programming and science one, right? I'm sure a mathman like you would know it. Well, I would like to actually learn more about it. It's a bit of a shame that it's... So, that's one of the issues. I didn't know what computer science would entail in high school, because we never had it. I don't think you should teach Python as a first language. They do it here at university. I would suffice to say I only said what a scope of a variable is only in my first year of uni, and 95% of classmates did it. Because it's like it's because most high schools don't teach it, at least here. If they put larger input, it would be better for learning about complexity. Kind of. Oh yeah, sure. But the thing is, it's you don't need large inputs to show about complexity, but what you can do is like what Nick's kind of said before. Just count the for loops. Just like the less we have to access the data, complexity is not important. No, I'm not saying you need to go in depth. You're saying like give it just like give them like a taste of it. Like, what does it roughly entail? Just for them to know what computer science is about. And if they're actually interested in it, they can go study computer science, because that's not within the scope of high school to teach. It's all about like introducing kids in a good way. Page 18 is what Nick said. The running time of a program. Yeah. Anyway. Or also why the gender bias is so bad. Yeah, because like, it's like something that's so stereotypically for guys that a lot of guys look into it themselves and girls rarely do. Because the girls, they go like, okay, I have no idea what computer science is. Don't care. The Mass Gymnasium did do prove. I'm sure gender bias is bad. It depends on why, Stimar. If it's because one of the genders never gets introduced to a topic, it kind of is. I'm sure there were high schools in the Netherlands that did programming and informatics. Because a friend of mine who like was raised in bumfuck nowhere, she got it, but I didn't, because my high school just didn't think it was needed. I think they might do it now, but even then it will be for like the first or maybe 2 years, so not really a relevant amount of time. Anyway, that's gonna be it. Thank you for watching, everyone. I might be back tonight. With what? I don't know. So, I'll tell you then. Replace dark themed edits with pink, please. God. Alright. Yeah. Good day. See you later. Just don't forget me.